Did you happen to catch the Charlie Kirk widow, Erika Kirk's town hall on CBS? There were some really bizarre moments.
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Okay, there's a lot of talk about the Lord anyway, let me walk you through this, because once you see this town hall and see everything that it was, you really can't unsee it. There's a lot going on here. It's not just about a strange town hall. This is really CBS News. It's about trying to become what they're trying to become, and why this whole thing turned so many people off. Most people are kind of making fun of it or saying, well, this was odd, strange. Her behavior was strange. Why is she doing this? Seems like she's grifting. She's been on a media tour. So look, I have to be honest with you. I didn't sit down and watch the entire Erika Kirk town hall. I couldn't. I watched the clips. I read the transcript. And then I looked at how CBS promoted it afterwards. And once you put all that together, the picture really, really gets clear. This wasn't just one program. This was, I think, they wanted it to be the rollout, because after that town hall, CBS News flooded the social media with clips, emotional moments. Like, I think we have like a collage of them that they put on social media. These tight close-ups, big lines pulled out for maximum impact. You're sick. Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter. We live in a divided country. This is the first of the many conversations that she said. That part really matters, because CBS wasn't treating this like it was this wasn't some tough piece of journalism that they were doing. They were treating this like something that they wanted you to absorb, something that you were supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel this. You're supposed to not question it. And that lines up exactly with what was reported afterwards. Okay. And this is a great article by Salon. And there's one by Variety as well. That people inside of CBS News, they were already they were not happy about this. They were uneasy about this, because that this even aired. And once it did air, the advertisers started asking questions they weren't quiet about it. They started asking real questions, like, what is this? Who is this for? Is this really CBS News? And then the advertisers answered, and I guess they said no. Watch this take on social media.
Erika Kirk cost CBS money. This is according to Variety magazine, who said originally CBS planned to run her special town hall on Sunday during prime time, but they were unable to find advertisers that were willing to advertise their products during that time slot. So instead, they moved it to the notoriously low watch time of 8 p.m. on Saturday. Unless you're a sporting event, you don't get views for broadcast television. And in return, they still could not find anybody who was willing to pay for an advertising slot. So instead, they turned to direct support ads, notoriously low-paying ads that are ran usually Tuesdays for Price is Right, or a 50-year-old rerun in the middle of the week. Things for Gold, Super Beets, Garlic, even Chia Pets. Nothing against Chia Pets. I think they're great. But you wouldn't expect CBS to run an ad for Chia Pets in the middle of one of their most highly publicized and highly advertised town halls this year. And this is something that CBS wants to do going forward, but according to Variety magazine, every time they've delved into this type of political realm, the advertisers withdraw. And this time, for Erika Kirk, they withdrew faster than they'd ever seen before.
So there you go. And make no mistake about it. This would be in a higher viewed spot in prime time or somewhere else rather than Saturday. If there were big advertisers and even big interest in it. We'll see what the ratings are. But this town hall, it was branded as a national conversation. But I think what people actually saw didn't feel like news. It didn't feel like reporting. It felt like, accountability, like they were trying to hold people accountable. It felt like they were doing some sort of, this was the conservative version of virtue signaling. This was CBS's virtue signal to conservatism, Christianity, I don't know. And it felt soft and protective of her rather than journalistic questioning. So some of that is not automatically bad, but it becomes a problem when it's wrapped in the packaging of news from the news division. CBS News is supposed to be the place where people get challenged. That's CBS, the Tiffany Network, right? They are hardcore journalists. It's supposed to be the place where power gets questioned, where you hold the accountable their feet to the fire, where narratives don't just float around untouched. Like there's supposed to be context added to these issues. That did not happen. Why Bari Weiss did not turn this over to one of the more seasoned journalists, actual journalists, shouldn't say more seasoned, actual journalists, and knowledgeable correspondents who could have done a great job of questioning Erika Kirk, I don't know, but it did not happen. She was treated like a political figure, and she is. She was treated like a moral, like a guide, like someone trying to guide your morals, or a healer for the country. Someone there to explain what's wrong with the country and how we are supposed to fix it. Fix it from Erika Kirk. Like, do you know what Erika Kirk's husband stood for and said? So in all of this, the framing matters, CBS News. The framing of this matters because Erika Kirk is not just some neutral figure. She's not. She is connected to a political movement. And her husband, a political movement that spent years stoking outrage, telling young people that they're under attack, and then turning grievance into influence and into money. Let's just be honest about it. And that context really barely showed up, if at all, in this town hall. Instead, what we got was a lot of faith, words about faith language, forgiveness. Parents need to do better. Social media is bad. Everybody calm down. That's not journalism. It's not. That's feelings. Remember, journalism, facts don't care about your feelings. And the advertisers noticed it. Because as was said by the gentleman there on social media, Variety reported that advertisers were not because the show was emotional, but because they didn't sign up for something that felt ideological and sermon-like under the CBS News banner. And one advertiser, according to the reports, basically said, I thought I was buying straight news and wasn't. So you can understand why they felt blindsided when you look at the clips CBS chose to push, either on their network or on social media. Every single one reinforced the same framing. Erika Kirk, excuse me, at the moral center. Erika Kirk, the grieving widow. Erika Kirk, the voice of reason. Erika Kirk, as someone we're supposed to listen to and learn from. Now listen, it is awful that her husband died so tragically and so violent. That should not happen. No one is condoning that. And one of the first questions was about people justifying it. Now, I have not heard one serious person on the left or on the right trying to justify Charlie Kirk's death. Now, on social media, does it happen? Sure. Are there some outliers and fringe people who are out there who do it? Absolutely, I'm sure. But for the most part, everyone, I think they were very cautious about saying, this should never have happened. I'm not saying that this should happen. But the truth is that he spoke about gun violence. And he did say that there needed to be some gun violence and there would have to be some casualties in order to have a Second Amendment. He said that. What you didn't see in all of those clips was the tension. You didn't see any of that pushback. You didn't see the hard questions that could have been asked. You didn't see anyone pressing her on context. And was that an accident? I don't believe so. She wasn't interviewed. It wasn't even like she wasn't interviewed or like a conversation. She was like received. This is like, I want to, how do I say this? It's like we went to her bat mitzvah or something, and or something like that, where you're receiving, or her debutante thing where everything is in agreement and it's set up so that you can not question. And that's where this started to feel off to a lot of people, because grief, as real as it is, it does not erase history. And it shouldn't remove responsibility. It doesn't remove responsibility. I think what bothered viewers was most of what didn't happen instead of what did happen, even though it was bizarre, the eye movement, the forced tears and all of that stuff. No one seriously pressed her on rhetoric. No one asked her whether, constantly telling young people that the country is under attack can push some of them toward violence. No one asked whether the words matter before violence shows up. Those are the questions that were skipped. Those are the things that were skipped. And then there was the anti-Semitism framing of it, which confused a lot of people, because Charlie Kirk was not Jewish. Erika Kirk isn't Jewish. And yet anti-Semitism became a recurring theme in the clips that CBS promoted, not deeply examined, but just invoked, because there was a young man in the audience who asked about, do you condemn anti-Semitism? And then she said she condemned anti-Semitism. And it was weird how they were just sort of, somehow it felt like it was shoehorned in there. We have to have a question about that. Charlie Kirk was a devout Christian. Not sure how he felt about, and maybe I should know more about Charlie Kirk, but I'm not sure Charlie Kirk was so kind to the Jews always. To a lot of viewers, it felt like they were trying moral insulation, right? They were trying to insulate this story, the Charlie Kirk story, and how they feel about all of this. Like they were trying to just insulate it from criticism. Like, look, we condemn hate. Therefore, this whole conversation is about criticism. But condemning hate is the bare minimum. It does not replace context, nor does it replace accountability. And that's why the journalists and the media critics and the regular viewers, people from all different diaspora, demographics, all spectrums, reacted the same way. Not with outrage, but it was just uncomfortable. It was discomfort. It was just uncomfortable to watch the stuff that I watched. I started watching, I can't do this. People didn't quite know what they were watching. Is this news? Is this advocacy? Is it faith? Is it faith programming? Is this public relations? And so that kind of confusion is deadly for a newsroom. And in that Salon reporting, I would encourage you to read it, made it clear that it wasn't just about viewer reaction. People inside CBS were uneasy. And when the advertisers start calling, that unease turns into real pressure, because advertisers don't like ambiguity. They don't like being adjacent to ideology. We all know in this business they don't. That's not what they signed up for. They're about brand safety, and they don't like surprises. I think sometimes maybe they should be, a little bolder in their stance, but they don't. So here's the real problem for CBS. People didn't just feel handled. They just stopped watching. And we've seen this before. Every time a news organization decides that it's going to steer the coverage one way or the other, same thing happens. I've been through it. And that's not what news is about. It's not, let's move the network to the right. Let's move it to the left. Let's move it to the right. No. That's not what journalism and news are about. The people who've been there forever, the core audience, gets turned off when you do that. And then they tune out and you can't get them back. Once that happens, it's hard to fix, because people don't come back the way that they used to. They don't check in out of habit the way that they used to. They don't give you another chance. They really don't. They find something else to watch, and it becomes the new routine, especially right now in this environment where viewing habits are changing so fast and YouTube has become the biggest TV network. That kind of move can end things for CBS, and they should take a page from another network and see what happened. You know what I'm talking about. This doesn't happen all at once. It just happens quietly. You're like, wait a minute, where do the viewers go? Why are their ratings so low? What's happening? There's no payoff in it for the people who have been sticking with you forever. The payoff used to be the journalism holding everybody's feet to the fire, not pushing political, religious, social ideology. This wasn't just a strange town hall. This was a moment where CBS showed its hand. And a lot of viewers responded by throwing in their cards and saying, I'm not even interested in playing this game. And like I said, once people drift away, they rarely drift back. It becomes a fait accompli, or as some people call it, a fool's errand. Both of them not winnable, predestined, predetermined outcome, and it's not good. And that's the story. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.